All right, you guys, I'm so excited to do part 3. I can't believe it's already been 3 weeks. And I've had so many good discussions with each of you, like in between each week, helping you guys like put it into action. I had a great call with Cassie the other day to help her get really clear on her vision, and Cody, all of you guys. So this is going to be part 3. This is more like, okay, I get it. I get the why. I get the excitement. I get the vision. Now, how do I actually do it and move it into action to actually activate people, to move them to reaching out to you? So this part, I'm going to just briefly go over this part, but like what we've covered already is really like the mission, the message, and the method. So at this point, you should be very clear on like ultimately what is it that you want to put out there on social media? How are you showing up online and how are you showing up offline? What is the actual message that you're wanting to get across? So your mission is the result you provide and the impact that you're going to have on people. The message is the message you're actually enrolling people in for that bigger mission and the benefit of working with you. So whether you're meeting with someone online or offline, this is the ultimate message that you're portraying and giving across. And I'm going to give you some clear examples of that tonight so that you can have a little bit more clarity for yours. And then the method is the actual sales ascension process you're going to take people through. This is the retention piece that's going to keep people excited and keep those highs going. It's like the dating process we talked about, like you wanting to keep coming back for more. You want to create that with your clients so that they get excited and want to come back for more. So if you haven't gotten clear on this, go back and watch part 2. Then this part is then the build, engage, educate, and activate piece. So how are you building your audience? How are you engaging and attracting and retaining those that you want to work with? How are you educating and actually stepping into the teacher role and teaching and adding value to that audience? And then how are you activating them to give them an open door to reach out to you? So those are all really clear. If you need to go back and like refresh on those, just go back to the first 2 parts. Then tonight is all about actually putting it together. So I'm going to give you guys 2 solid examples using Cody, who's on this, and Tina, who's on this as well. And I'm going to give you examples of like their brand message and how we're like really moving them into like, how are they showing up as that person online and offline, putting all of this together. So we're going to go over like, how do you actually create content that converts? Like taking a piece of content and your message that you want to get out there, how are you writing that to really grab people's attention and make them actually want to reach out to you to create that attraction marketing machine like we've talked about? And then how are you using Instagram stories that sell? Not just posting whatever, whenever, but how are you creating very intentional stories that are actually telling a story that creates emotion with people? And then, okay, so let's just dive in. So your niche is like what we talked about last week. So at this point, you have to be so solid clear on your ideal client and who you're talking to. So to move forward in this next part, to give you those examples, this is going to play your biggest role and your biggest piece in this. So right now, if you're still kind of iffy about your niche, I hope these like examples are going to help you get a little bit more clear in that, because you have to know who you're talking to. So if you walk up to someone at a coffee shop in person, you're going to attract a lot of different people in your life for Isagenix, but you have to be so solid in your message and what you're getting across to that person. So the more that you really understand people and the people that you want to work with and understand those pain points, understand those challenges that they've gone through like we talked about last week, understand like very solid, what are they desiring more of in their life? It will be so easy for you, whether it's online and what you're writing in your content or offline, showing up in person, whether you're talking to someone at an event or meeting them at the coffee shop or reaching out through Instagram, but maybe setting up a coffee meeting. When you're so clear on what they desire, you're going to be able to speak their language. You're going to be able to use those powers and speak that verbiage directly to them so that they immediately build rapport with you and want what you have because you've done the work prior. So that's what all of this is almost preparing you for what's going to come. When you look at your level of leadership, you're always going to be rising to that next level. God is always going to be putting people in your life when you're ready for that next level. And then that's practice. So this is preparing you for that. And to give you a perfect example, Michelle is on here, and Michelle got her nails done on Friday and was talking to her little girl nail lady about Isagenix. She's talked to her multiple times. Here's a perfect example of taking this entire thing and doing it in person. She's brought this little nail lady through her like process, her method, where she didn't try to just sell her the first time. It's been a couple drip conversation. And every time she goes back, this little lady asks her for a little bit more, asks her for a little bit more. And now she's ready. So on Friday, Michelle was talking to her, but guess what happens? God put someone next to her because Michelle was like prepared and more ready than she's ever been. And so this other lady next to her is listening about this conversation, about them talking about nutrition, and it gave her the opportunity to talk to this woman and set up a coffee meeting. So this whole process is just giving you that clarity and helping you build that confidence. So when it's time and you're ready, whether it's online or offline, you know exactly what to say and how to move that person to the next step. Okay. So now let's go back to social media and content. I know I went off tangent a little bit, but okay. So the most powerful thing you guys can do is take time to write out content that really activates that ideal client. So when you can visualize that person that you want to work with and then move from that place, it will change everything in your business. So it's not just about like, yes, this is my niche and this is ideal client and this would be so fun to build a business with them. It's literally deciding on a photo, like taking a professional photo, going and shooting lifestyle photos, showing behind the scenes, doing whatever photo you want to use, but then being like, just closing your eyes and being like, what does this person desire? What is this person going through right now? What are they going through? Have I been there? Have I gone through that too? How have I overcome that and created that solution? How can I help this person? To visualize what is the outcome I want this person to feel from this post. Don't post just to post. Be like, what is the outcome? What is the intention? And how do I want that? What action do I want them to take after they read this post? When you can come from that feeling and that place, it will shift it for you. And you're going to start to have a lot more people reaching out to you saying, I want to learn more. I'm ready. I've been watching your journey, all of these things. And it just shifts it. So here's how I format the method I use to write my content that's going to change a lot of things for you. And then I'm going to give you very clear examples of what this looks like. So when you look at content is the actual written piece that goes with your post. So you're going to put up your photo and then you're going to write the content. For starters, last week I talked about the app called Later. The app called Later, if you write your content in Later, upload the photo into it, and then write the content in there, it allows you to keep it separated. So if you were to just go post on your Instagram, sometimes it'll mush it together and it's one paragraph. Keep it in, put it in Later so it creates it so it's way easier to read. So when you use this format, it doesn't have to be long. It can be short, it can be long, it can be whatever it is to get your message across. But this is the overall method I want you guys to follow. The very first statement should be your bold capture statement. So the best way to do this is write all your feelings on paper. Be like, okay, right now I want to get across, like, what is my ultimate vision and my mission that I want to get across so people, like, this is your starting point. From day one, treat today like day one. What is the mission of why I'm doing Isagenix? Why did I choose this? What's the impact I want to create? What's my mission? I want you guys just to verbal diarrhea on a piece of paper. Just write it out. And then I want you to, I love Cody's laughing. Then take the most juicy part of that whole thing, and I want you to move it to the top. And that it becomes your bold capture statement that is going to grab people's attention as they're scrolling. Because now we're information overload, you guys. We're just scrolling and scrolling through people's stuff. Everyone has great content now. Everyone has great photos. So what is it that's going to grab that person that you want to attract and grab their attention? You're not speaking to everybody. You could have 5,000 followers, but maybe you just want to attract that one person that is wanting what you have to offer. That's who you're speaking to. So do not write it as if you're speaking general statement to everyone. Write like you are speaking to that person's soul, and you're going to write that power statement that grabs their attention. Then the next part is, what are they going through? If you've already identified those pain points and challenges, you know exactly what they're going through. And I'll give you some examples. But that second paragraph is going to speak to them. And it's not like saying they, it's like you. What are they going through, as in you're going to write it directly to them. And you're going to include some type of a question to create engagement. This could be like, have you ever felt that way too? I totally know how you feel. Have you ever felt this? Then number 3 is you're going to relate to them. How have you gone through this too, and know how they feel? Okay, so this is yes, I know what you're going through, but I've been there too. I've gone through this too. Relate to them, build rapport, give an example of how you've gone through something like that too. And then 4 is the solution and how you've overcome it. How did you find the solution? How can you now step into the expert role saying, I've been there. This is how I found the solution. This is what I went through. This is what I tried. This is what I started. How have you gone through it to be able to provide them the solution now? And you're going to ask another question to create engagement. Okay? You always want to create engagement. So as they're reading, they feel like they're having a conversation with you. And then number 5 is now flip it so that the customer is the hero of their own story. If you don't do this in person and you don't do it online, guess what's going to happen? They will always say, I'm so happy for you. If you have this great story and you meet someone at the coffee shop and it opens the door to this conversation and you kind of have this conversation right here, and you don't flip it back to them to say, but what are your goals? Like say they're like, God, you look so good. And you're like, oh my gosh, it's Isagenix. I've been trying this new nutrition program. I love it. I've never felt better. I was struggling for years, blah, blah, blah. And then I found this. If you don't say, what are your goals, or flip it back to them somehow, I promise you, they'll just be like, oh, I'm so happy for you. And then you're like, oh crap. Then you feel stuck and you don't know how to share it with them. The same thing goes for online. When you're writing a power post like this, if you don't flip it back and show them how they can be that hero of their own story and show them it's possible for them too, it will happen. They'll just be like, I'm so happy for her. I'm excited for her. And you'll notice it in how they comment. So make sure you flip it back and say, you can have this too. What would your life be like if? And allow it to then for them to visualize and see how could that same solution transform their life and be the solution to their problems too. And then number 6 is activate. You have to have a call to action. What resonated with you the most? Drop an emoji if this speaks to you. Drop your favorite emoji if this resonates. Click the link in my bio to set up a discovery call. What were some of the challenges in your life? Anything. Ask a question. People need to know what the next step is. This is the same thing if you're leading an event and you start a sentence by saying, raise your hand if you felt. If you don't say that and you're just like, how many of you feel? They're out there in their head nodding. But if you say, raise your hand if you feel, it creates an activation. This is what you want to do online. You want to activate people by telling them what action to take. So if you're in a place where you're capturing leads and you want lead generation, you're going to say, click the link in my bio. If you're have Calendly, which is the best app, use calendly.com and it can link to your Google Calendar where people can literally set up a meeting with you right there and it'll go directly on your calendar. I have it in my link tree. So if you have multiple ways that they can contact you, put in Linktree in your bio and it allows you to have a couple different links. So it could be your Isagenix link. It could be a lead capture landing page link. It could be your Calendly link. So however you want them to connect with you, that's what you want them to activate, okay? So now when you've taken all of this, how are you building your audience? What's your niche? What's your mission, message, method? What's the process you're taking them through? And then how are you writing content to directly speak to this person? I'm going to give you guys 2 examples of how to do this. So Tina's the first one. So Tina is a salon owner. She's a stylist and salon owner. She's a booth rent stylist. She owns BU Salon. I met her a couple months ago she's in my downline. And we've been really working on getting her super solid, clear in her vision and how to weave Isagenix in. So this is a big thing I want to stress. We talked about before, Isagenix doesn't have to be your end all, but also doesn't have to be your whole brand up front. A lot of you are just getting started. So it's teaching you, getting clear on your brand message, but how are you weaving Isagenix in so that it creates this flow that activates people to want to work with you? So Tina, her niche is her clients right now. They're women seeking transformation and change. They go to her because they want to feel beautiful, but they're going to a stylist because they want to be beautiful on the outside. They want to change their hair, their skin, their makeup, all these things. But we all know true transformation starts on the inside. It's what you're fueling your body with. It's what you're fueling your mindset with. So when a stylist especially understands the power they have to transform someone from the inside out, within that chair, it will switch everything. And that is the massive vision that Tina has. And that's why it is so aligned with Isagenix. So you guys can, as you're teaching your teams this is more, I want you guys to take this and apply it, but also know how to coach your teams, because each of your team members, each of your leaders is going to have a different vision with a different personal brand, with a different demographic, and a different way that they're able to build Isagenix and weave it into what they're already doing. So when you can say, what is it that you're already doing? Where's your network and your demographic already coming from? This is how we weave Isagenix in to fit your message already. Make sense? So for her, it is women between ages of 20 to 60 already coming to her for transformation. Their pain points can be all about their hair. Yes, they lack confidence. But at the end of the day, if you ask a client why they want to change their hair, and you ask those 7 layers deeper questions and peel back that onion with a client, it is not about their hair. It is not about their makeup and their skin. It is about they feel like they're aging and they don't feel as beautiful as they used to. Maybe they haven't slept with their spouse a long time and they're lacking confidence because they're aging and they just don't feel good. So they think transforming their hair is going to help when really it's so much deeper. They're exhausted. They're overweight. She has busy, successful women in Cherry Creek that they want simple solutions. They want all of those things that Isagenix provides. So when she has that power to then take Isagenix vision and our results and our solutions to weave it in with hers and her mission and her message, that's what she creates. So then the desires, you flip that. They desire to invest in their beauty. They desire to seek confidence and feel beautiful and age in reverse. Okay? So when you can take this same concept to apply it to your vision and your brand. Her mission is the result that she provides is helping women feel beautiful from the inside out. Her message is like, what's the benefit of choosing her? When they sit in her chair, she's not just changing their look. She's empowering her clients to own who they are, feel beautiful in their own skin, inside and out. And she oozes this through like her IG stories, her content, her the experience within the salon and everything they're going through. And then the method is the process that she is walking them through. And this is where I want you guys to see this as a long-term thing. And yes, this is a salon, but I'm going to give you another example after this that's completely different. But when you look at her sales ascension, what are all the ways that she can get a client excited and start to teach them about Isagenix through the process? So this is like taking them on that pathways of highs that create excitement to want to learn more. That goes through your product, the service, the solution, the results, and the experience. And this can be different for any industry. You could apply this for fitness. You could apply this for a student. You could apply this for a corporate, someone that's in corporate America. Like you just have to walk through what are all those things that they're able to offer. So she does it through her social media and like really showcasing authenticity through her brand stories that represent the BU brand, beauty from the inside out. Her products, she really can say like quality driven products, talking more about wellness. So we've weaved wellness into her brand message so that it's not just about luxury products, but it's about wellness and aging in reverse and creating those products as well. Then her service is what questions is she asking? So the service that she has same thing, this could be applied with anyone. Her service is a client sitting in her chair. A personal trainer is them working with that client. A student is the person sitting next to them in their class, the conversations that they're having. What are those conversations and how are you taking that mission and your message and everything and weaving that in? And then her service also, she can then, instead of serving champagne, she can provide shakes, e-shots, ionics, instead of that champagne. So it's weaving Isagenix in. And then her events fit that core message, the solution, testimonial, success stories, everything. So this is the method. So for you, write out, what is your method? What's the process you're going to take your people through so they keep learning more and keep getting excited? All right, so then how do you move this online and apply that content method to write powerful content that speaks to that ideal person? So for her, I had her write out what is her message that resonates with her, and I just had her do exactly what I said. Just put it on a piece of paper, and then I'm going to help organize it. And I want to show you guys the difference of how this works. So if she just wrote this one and put it out there, I want you to feel the difference. So she wrote, here, I need to move this. She wrote, "Hi, I'm Tina. I've been in the beauty industry for over 20 years. I love all things hair, makeup, and fashion. I created my brand because I think it is important to be who you are. I want to inspire, encourage those around me to be their true, authentic self. I love interacting with my clients, friends, to create a result that makes them feel and look their best. In a world where anybody in your life wants you to be something that you're not, it's important to stand in your truth and be who you are and be what you are. I'm so thankful that I get to do what I love and impact those around me. So if we're teaching Tina, like that is her core message that she wants to get across, how are we weaving Isagenix into that? How are we rewriting that so then the message on social media will activate her clients to want to learn more? Make sense? So this is how I rewrote it. The first sentence, you guys, is a question that grabs attention. So I put, do you ever feel the pressure from the world to be more, do more, become more? And then you want to relate or address their challenges. I see it all the time as a hairdresser. In the 20 years I've spent behind the chair in the beauty industry, it's not uncommon for a client to want to change or enhance their look as a way to feel more confident, feel sexier, feel younger, feel more seen. Have you ever felt this way? Have you ever wanted to change your look to feel more? So we ask a question so it engages them and makes them be like, yeah, I have felt that way. I have felt like I want to feel sexier, feel younger, feel more seen, and feel like I need to be more. And then I put, I can change your look all day, but it's not what makes you who you are. That starts on the inside first. That is exactly why I created my brand, Be You, to transform you from the inside out, to empower you to truly own who you are, to inspire your authentic self to emerge, and to help you rock confidence that lasts far longer than the damn good blowout I will give you. So right there, then she's relating to them, but then showing the solution she provides is so much more than what they think they're coming into experience. Then she says, I do this through the products I provide that help you age in reverse and not only transform your hair, but your health too. I provide an experience and service that delivers deeper, meaningful results that last and a whole new outlook to literally aging in reverse on every other level. That doesn't make sense, but, and then to all my clients, thank you. Thank you for choosing me. To all those I have yet to meet, I cannot wait to meet you. Drop your favorite emoji in the comments to enter to win a complimentary blowout with me, and let's talk about you, your goals, and stepping into your authentic self. So this is for any clients that, one, she's addressing her current clients, but educating them on, wait a minute, I'm going to provide you so much more than hair now. It's more about wellness and aging in reverse too, and truly transforming you from the inside out. But then she also says, drop your favorite emoji in the comments to activate new clients to be like, wait a minute, I love this. My stylist doesn't do this. I want to come in and get a complimentary blowout with you, and I want to come experience the salon and learn about that. So that's the process. She's just activating them to come in, get a complimentary blowout. Then she's going to drip in Isagenix. She'll ask deeper questions. They're going to be exposed to her brand message. She's going to build that rapport. And guess what happens? That becomes a lifelong client. And guess what happens? That person then comes and they get to experience it more. She gets to ask deeper questions and move them to that wellness route. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. All right, now we're going to do Cody, because Cody's brand is completely different. He's not in the beauty industry at all. He could be. So his whole brand is dream big, work late. He is the epitome of a lifestyle entrepreneur that is just meant to just travel the world, build a huge network marketing business. So when you think of Cody, it's completely different, and that's why I wanted to give this example. So his niche could be, I just guessed on this, but 25 to 45-year-old men and women, both men and women, who are just tired of the corporate America world of the 9-to-5 job, and they are craving a laptop lifestyle and craving more freedom. So these are the people he's going to build his audience with. He's going to go find these people on social media. He's going to go to events and find these people. He's going to find them online and offline. He knows exactly who he's looking for. The pain points of those people, they're over their job. They're feeling so unfulfilled. They're tired of working for the weekend and tired of working for time off and tired of working for a small percentage of raise. They're overworked and they're not financially thriving or living that ideal life that they want. Their desires, a laptop lifestyle. They want to travel the world, work whenever they want, wherever they want, have that time freedom, the mobility freedom, and the financial freedom. Am I right, Cody? Is that pretty cool? Then his brand has always been dream big, work late. So what does this truly mean? His mission is to empower others. You really can have it all, that you can live a life of freedom, experience, and choices. So that's what he wants to cast to people, is to show what's possible, that you don't have to like live in this 9-to-5 grind, that there is more. And his message is you can have the 9-to-5 grind, but like the work late piece is almost like you go to your 9-to-5 job, but you build your legacy after that. You build your legacy in the hours after that. So how can he empower these people who are like miserable in their jobs or just craving more, to be like, but here, let me show you. Let's work a little bit harder. Let's work a little bit different. Let's turn your late nights into like investing time to build a lifetime of freedom. What are you willing to invest in now to create a lifetime of freedom? So dream bigger, work hard for now, and create a life of freedom forever and a lasting legacy is his message that he gets across. So online, he's going to weave this all into his content strategy. In person, he's going to ask those questions. If he goes to a networking event with this person, he's going to ask those questions. Are you burnt out? Are you overworked? What do you crave? Are you craving more of a lifetime of freedom? Are you willing to put a couple hours in every night and give up maybe your Netflix to work a little bit harder so that you can create, forever freedom? That's the message he's going to weave in everything he does. The method then is training on the business opportunity side, stepping into more of a trainer to teach that he's the expert, educating people, creating different levels of funnel system that he's going to take people through, building his YouTube channel, and then building events, attracting those people that you want. So if you have a specific niche, how are you going to go to those people and how are you going to attract them? Meaning online, there's Facebook groups. You can find them in hashtags. You can find them in private groups. You can find them all in different ways that you can ask me one-on-one based on your niche, but you can go find those people the same way you can find those people in person. Go to a networking event. Where do those people hang out? So when you can create the method of attracting and create the method of retaining those people based on who they are, you're going to take them through that ascension process. So I took one of his really old posts and I just rewrote it to get his message across. So he put, after 6 years, I'm so close. Setting the goal is one thing. Accomplishing the goal is an entirely different journey. From crying myself to sleep, overcoming fear and doubt, believing in myself over and over, I'm going to make it, failing over and over again, I began to realize the journey to success is through failure. So I took this exact same, I know exactly what he's trying to get across right here and what he wants them to feel. So I just rewrote it using this exact format. I said, what if you trusted the journey starts through failing forward? Have you ever hit a point where you have cried yourself to sleep at night, felt overwhelmed from fear and doubt, and struggled to keep believing in yourself or your future? I have been there, friend, and I totally understand where you are at. I struggled too. For over 6 years, I questioned my path, but I knew deep down I was meant for more and there had to be a different way. So I started dreaming bigger, stayed up late after I got off work, started building my dream and failed forward. I knew I had a legacy waiting for me, but it was up to me to take action. What if I could show you a clear path to start living your purpose too? What would your life look like if you took the leap, failed forward, and trusted me in the process? The time is now. Lock arms with me and have faith in what's possible. Click the link in the bio to set up a discovery call. So I want to just go over this really fast. How does the emotion feel? Do you feel more empowered from him as the expert to be like, yeah, I went through it, but I overcame it, and now I'm going to help you through it too? It activates more. It's the exact same message, but it's showcasing more of his brand of what it truly means to dream big and work late, and what it means to overcome failure and fail forward to create that life. And now I'm going to help you through it too. So again, just to recap, your first sentence, try to always make it a question that really is a bold statement. Relate to their pain points and challenges. Yes, those pain points and challenges is people that have cried themselves to sleep. They have felt overwhelmed from fear and doubt. They have struggled. He's speaking directly to that person, that on the receiving end, that person's like, yeah, dude, I totally have felt that way. And then he relates. It's not just about, woohoo, I've done this. It's relate. I've been there. I totally get what you're saying. It resonates with me. I feel you. Always try to use phrases like I feel you, I see you, I get you, so that you can relate to those people and truly understand. It speaks to their heart. And then say, I struggled too for over 6 years. How have you been through it? and then created the solution. Well, his business and brand is Dream Big, Work Late. He said, I started dreaming bigger. I stayed up late after I got off work. But why is he staying late? Why is he working hard? People don't want to work hard. They don't want to work at night unless they're building their legacy. So how is he showing I'm building my legacy? And then activating at the end. Lock arms with me. Have faith in what's possible. Click the link in the bio to set up the discovery call to activate them to take action and be able to then be like, okay, who's interested? What he wants from this is those people. It's only going to be like a couple people. Again, you guys, you could be talking to 5,000 people, but you want the exact person you're looking for. That person will reach out and be like, yo, dude, like I would love to set up a discovery call and learn more. That's what you want. And when you can start to write content like this, it happens over and over and over. You get those people that start reaching out to you. All right, before I go into Instagram stories, I just want to touch base on the content piece. Do any of you guys have any questions on like how to write a power post and how to write content? No?
Is there any apps that you're using?
For content? No.
Yeah. No, you're just doing it yourself.
To write the content is 100%, yeah, it's 100% like just myself. The way I put it in, the only one for content, like when you're writing a post, the only one I use is the later one, just so it separates it, so it'll keep it like this in the paragraphs, and it doesn't like make it one paragraph. That's the only one. The apps that I use are all for like filters or for Insta stories, which I'll go into in a second.
To separate the paragraphs too, on your Instagram, you have to put a period and then push return and then put another period, so it drops the space down and those periods make up the space of the line.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like when you write a whole entire paragraph, in order to space it out on Instagram for it to be like spread apart, just put a period and then push return, and then it'll do another period and that'll space it out for you.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I never knew that. So I was just use later to separate it all. Will you type that in the comments so they have that? Cool. Thanks, Cody. You learn something new every day. Okay, so IG stories. So that's content. Like you guys, when you look at like your news feed, kind of going back, like you always want like the 9 tiles to kind of like have a color palette or some type of visual aesthetic that's appealing to people. You really want to stay with lighter colors because it's more like it activates a positive feeling. Darker colors activate a negative feeling. You would look at the top 3 going across and start to create a theme from it. So have some type of theme. It could be all different ways of residual income. It could be all about like it could be anything you want, but make sure it has consistency in a theme. For mine, I'm doing all videos down on one column. I know Cody started doing certain like videos down and certain training pieces and content. So just have some type of aesthetic that like resonates with you. And then we're going to move into IG stories, because IG stories is really where most people spend their time now. So like content is amazing and people will love it, and it's like a huge selling point. Like I said, like use social media. So when you're meeting someone in person and you're having a conversation, you're like, let's follow each other on social media. That's a place that they can learn more, that you're not having to tell them everything. IG stories is really like the behind the scenes of your life. It's how are you using the products every day? It's how are you living your life? How are you really, like, who are you and why should someone want to work with you? People do not buy a product. They buy you. It's because they like you, because you've inspired them, because they want to work with you. So IG stories gives the way for them to truly feel a deeper connection with you. So this is where it's like document everything you do. Document your day. Constantly be like tagging whatever you're doing, tag it, because you want to like increase your audience for them to reshare it. Like we've talked about, if you go to a coffee shop, make sure it's like tag the coffee shop, like tag what you're working on. Find every moment as a teaching opportunity, because you want them to reshare that. So then you're creating more followers. So every day, like kind of wake up. The way to like get into this, because sometimes it's hard if you haven't been using Instagram stories, then it's kind of like, where do I even start? Like that's kind of hard. So maybe this week just be like, okay, what story do I want to get across? What do I want to teach this week? Or what do I want to show behind the scenes? maybe just tomorrow on Monday, you're like, I'm going to just do a like behind the scenes with Cody. And I'm going to wake up and I'm going to show you like my morning routine. I'm going to show you what I eat for breakfast. I'm going to show you like, do I meditate? What do I do? Do I write in a gratitude journal? Do I go on a run? What is it that you do? Then going to work, then how are you weaving in Isagenix throughout the day? What products are you using? What excites you about like creating freedom? Like just do a whole behind the scenes. Then maybe Tuesday, it's like, okay, you want to do transformation Tuesdays and you want to show results and you want to show all like before and afters and testimonials that you've gotten, and then go on live on there and be like, talk about the why and what excites you about that. Why you said yes to the products. What was your transformation like? Then maybe on Wednesday, it's like Wealth Wednesday and you want to talk about residual income and the power of multiple income streams. Maybe you watch like one of our Isagenix wealth creation videos and you tell a story about what really speaks to and the culture behind Isagenix. Find like different themes just to get started. But every time you're going to do it, like every day, be like, what story do I want to tell? And what is the intention? What do I want people to feel from this? What is the outcome that I want them to learn? Like, how intentional are you being? It can be personal stuff. It doesn't have to be all about Isagenix or work, but what is it that you want them to learn about you? This is your brand at the end of the day, your personal brand. So what is it that you want people to know about you and say about you? And then what is your outcome and purpose? I talked about that. Write it out first. So like, don't just start, but be like, okay, well, write it out. So if you're using an app, for example, I did one last week that was like all about the reasons I said yes to Isagenix that only costs $199 to be in business. I was like, how can I teach people if they were to say yes and they were like, I want to dive into the business a little bit, like I want to learn, like, how does this work? So I created like a 7-story on telling that story. Like, I'm so grateful that my business only costs $199 a month and I eat my overhead. And then the next one was like, what does that include? What if I pay $199 a month? What are all the things that includes? A free website. It includes community. It includes coaching from top millionaires in our company. It includes mentorship. It includes all these things. And I went through this whole process about the business side, what that looks like, what they get from it, what the benefit is of working with us, the vision of Isagenix, and the impact. So I wrote that out first. And then I was like, okay, now what photos do I want to use? And then I uploaded it to the app. And I used a special app so that had visual aesthetics. And then I chose a specific song and then used the music feature on Insta Stories. So it created this whole movie. So be more intentional. Be like, what is it that people want to watch? And to also learn how to do this is start watching other people's and make notes. Don't just consume their content. Like, start stepping into that creator role and being like, what inspires me about this content? What do I love about it? What was it that really grabbed my attention? And start making notes so that you can apply those same strategies to yours and start getting really creative. Again, like, there's so much going on social media now. Like, you have to be so authentic and so creative. So what makes you you, and how can you start to show that? If you can't get things across in like 3 clips, take out some fluff. So sometimes I'll just ramble and I'm like, no one wanted to listen to that 9 stories, even though sometimes I'll post it. But like, how can you be like, just save them, be like, okay, how can I get that point across in just 3 15-second clips on my Insta stories by just taking out fluff words and just going straight to the point and the power words. Algorithms, Instagram algorithms they're really attracted when you use the features that Instagram provides. So the more you use polls on your stories, the more you use the questions tab, the more you use music, the more you use little GIFs and make things little icons, like, use the features that are available and add to it. One, because it keeps attention, but also because it changes your algorithms and they love it. So the polls are super easy. If you're doing like one on like the new Amped line, use the polls and be like, are you interested in trying this? It's so easy. Do one this week that's like, if I could guarantee that you could lose 10 pounds in 30 days, would you be open to trying this product? Yes or no, or like yes and yes. I always do the positives. So right there, you'll get at least a couple people, and then just reach out to them and be like, hey girl, what resonated? What are your goals right now? It is so easy when you use the polls to activate people, so that instead of them having to reach out to you saying, hey girl, I've been watching you for a while, I need to lose 10 pounds. right there, they just pressed yes and they're ready. And all you have to do is ask what resonates with them. What are their goals? Ask a couple more questions and then immediately move it to a phone call or an in-person meeting. The other things that increase your algorithms is just engagement. Make sure you're watching other people's stories and engaging on theirs. You can swipe up on one of their stories and press the little icons. You can comment on theirs, like create engagement. If you want more engagement and you want to be seen more on Instagram, you need to increase your level of engagement. So block out 15 minutes or 20 minutes every day and just go love on your ideal customers and comment on their posts, read their posts, comment, love, like, interact with their Insta stories. And I promise you, you will see it will literally double your engagement back. Visuals and apps. Some of the best apps, I talked about this last week, but I can go over a couple again, is Canva is huge. Canva's free. Insta art or story art is amazing. Lightroom, I'm gonna put these in the comments. Lightroom, story art, Canva, or a couple of the top ones. Split photo is good. And then go through and just go into your apps and just put like Instagram filters, Instagram apps, Instagram whatever, and it will pull up so many from you, and you can just look at all the previews and choose what resonates with you and speaks to you. But like now start using the app. So the apps allow you to like upload different photos, change different fonts, tell your story, and then you can save them to your phone, and then you can upload them into your Insta stories so that you start to create different levels of stories. So your stories are like the stories that you're posting, but now you can start to create more using the app features to have more fun with it. And then always add music. Music creates emotion. So the more, not everyone always listens to the music. Sometimes they're at work and they have it off. So sometimes like make sure you're like writing to what you're saying. So if you do a video and you're telling a story about something, pick out the huge pieces that stand out that you want someone to remember from it, and just put the text on that video so that if for some reason they're at work or they're somewhere where they can't listen to you talking, they can still read what you're saying and get the point across. That's really helpful too. Okay, so here's some ideas for you guys for Instagram stories. Celebrate your team. Give like a shout out to like your team and just be like, hey, it could be product, it could be business, it could just be collaborations, it could just be your gratitude for them. Celebrate your team in some way. Like spend this week and be like, I want to just give some shout outs. It could be your upline, it could be your downline, it could be your crossline, it could be anybody. It could be people not even on your team that you want to give a shout out to. Tag them. Say why they inspire you or why you're grateful for them in some way. Do leader in the spotlight. Pick one person on your team. It could be anybody, and just be like leader in the spotlight or leader in action, and this is why, and tag them. You could celebrate your top income earners as your team grows. Even if it's one cycle, that's amazing. They're growing their business. It could be they have one enrollment. Their first enrollment is huge, you guys. That is so powerful. They are like doing it. So celebrate the top income earners. Celebrate customers and their success. Always ask people, like if people are like, I'm having great results, like I snapshot their text messages so that I can upload those. Reach out to your team this week, even if you have 2 people or if you have 100 people, and be like, hey, what can you give me, like write out a testimony and either do a testimony video or a testimony written and tell me like, what do you love about Isagenix? What has Isagenix done for you? What have you done with your money that you've received from Isagenix so far? Like get testimonials and like use those for like testimonial Tuesdays and start featuring those and save them in your phone. You can create folders in your phone, like under your Photos app, start saving like Isagenix testimonials and save those in there so everything's organized and recycle through those. If you see a lot of like top leaders on Instagram, we're always just recycling a lot of things too. Like content is content, recycle it. The more people see something over and over and over, the more it sticks. Celebrate local businesses. So if you are increasing your audience and want to grow your following in your audience, where do your people hang out? Like if you're like this, sorry, that's my dog. If you are like, okay, so say they hang out at a local gym and you love that gym too, go take a photo at that gym and tag that gym and give them a huge shout out, because they will reshare it and then you will attract more people from that gym. people tend to like follow and like people that they see, you know? So it's like the more you can tag other people and give credit to them, the more they're going to share, the more exposure it's going to give you. If you go to the same coffee shop over and over, tag them, take a photo and tag them. If you go to the same boutique and you love shopping, tag it, put like their Instagram handle on it because they will reshare it. This also increases your algorithms. Instagram sees this and they're like, wow, this person loves collaboration. They're really like engaging. They're going to give you more, like featuring more in the highlight part so that you get more followers. Product launches, like make sure every time we launch a product, create a story. Don't just be like, we're launching the Amped product today. Like take some time and get some testimonials and get some photos and create some cool apps, like using the apps, create some cool stories and tell a story with that photo. Don't just post that, but actually be intentional with it. Do a whole story on why network marketing. This week, like I want you guys to write down why network marketing. Why is it different? Why is it the business of the 21st century? Why do I love it? Why did I say yes to this? Why do I see this as an opportunity for everybody? Why residual income? Why does everyone need multiple streams of income? First, write that out, what resonates with you, what really speaks to you and everything, and then be like, how can I put this into a creative story and upload it to my Insta stories on Wednesday and start to like share that. Cleanse days, like grab a couple friends and be like, we're doing a cleanse day. So like a couple of our girls, we did a cleanse day last week and we were like, friend day, cleanse day, and we all made sure that we posted different parts of our cleanse day and we tagged each other. So then we reshared each other's posts so we had more content. Because you're going to see if they tag you, it's going to say add to story. Just add that to your story then. So everything you do, be so intentional. How can I do this as a group so everything gets reshared? How can I start, if my team isn't familiar with Instagram stories and content, maybe then start for them and you start tagging them in things so they can reshare it. So like the Y network marketing, just you create the story, but then tag all of your leaders in it so then they can start resharing it so until they're ready to build their own content. Does that make sense? How can you document your day, walk behind the scenes? We already did that. Do like an Isagenix men day. So many times like people don't know that a lot of men do this. Go and find like there's so many Isagenix men that do it. Like take some cool photos of them, like snapshot some of their photos and like what they love. Like you can find any of this on Isagenix. Maybe find some quotes from like some of the top Isagenix men and feature all of the men for one day. Do the same thing for women. Do Isagenix families and feature all the families that have kids and give those people a shout out and show the new Isa Kids shakes. Like tell a story about families and the impact that it has. Not just products, but what is the residual income doing for families, allowing people to be a full-time family, to stay at home with their kids, to retire their spouse. Always look at it as not just a story, but how can I create emotion that actually moves and tugs at people's heartstrings that makes them learn more about our culture and our company and our products and our results. And then always teach. So like, yes, I know it's so uncomfortable to push yourself out of your comfort zone and like go live and teach, but just start small. Be like, what's something I'm comfortable with? I'm really proud. I want to give Tina a shout out on here. Like today, she went live for one of the first times to really just go over her brand message and put it out there and tell her clients like what BU really represents and stands for. So like write it out first and be like, okay, how can I teach my audience something today? Meetings, like if you have client meetings, take a meeting with the person that you're with, upload that meeting and give that person a shout out and tag them. Especially if it's like a new product user, like say you grab coffee with them and you do like a welcome call, like a welcome meeting with them and you walk them through the products and their goals and things like that. Make sure you're taking a photo with them, tagging them in it so that they re-tag it because it creates curiosity. So again, to go back to Tina, like that's what we've done. And she has a couple of people that are like, hey, I've been watching your journey, because she's resharing those things that it allows other people to see the behind the scenes. And they're like, wait, who are you meeting with? What is Isagenix about? What is this? And it opens that door to conversation and it builds their confidence too, because then people are asking them. Okay, cool. And then I just gave a couple examples of this. So in the bottom right corner, we talked about this last week. If you guys want to like create folders or collections for your Instagram that you can go back to, like we talked about Isagenix prospects. So if you're like, this is my ideal client, like, and you want to start loving on them and building that relationship, the best way to do it is you're going to click on a photo. So like this middle one, you'd say this is someone else's, obviously my photo. On the bottom right corner of this photo, there was a ribbon, and I hold that ribbon, and then this pops up and it says save to, and I have ISA prospects. So you would save it in your prospect folder. So then every week you can go back to that folder and it'll pull up all the people that you've saved in there, and then you can go back and build and nurture those relationships, meaning go back and love on them, like their stuff, engage with their Insta stories, draw attention to and add value to them. Then once you've done that, if you are like, how do I go and find that? If you click on the bottom right icon, it's your face on the bottom right of your Instagram, and then it'll pull up the saved. Then you'll click on the top right. It allows you to look at your saved folder. It's right there. I was helping a girl with this, so that's why I added this on. They all are saved right there, and then it opens the whole saved folder. So you can create so many different folders that you want to reference back to for your Instagram. Then, what was the point of this one? I don't remember. If you guys are just super new, this is just for people who are super new. I used a photo, it was just the countertop, but if you just swipe up, this right here, this icon right here lets you use all these filters. So if you're like, how do you get all these filters? It's right there. If you swipe up on it, this comes up and it's like everything that you want to use. This is what I was talking about. The more you use the polls, the questions, the countdown, the quizzes, hashtags, all of these things, music option, the more this is going to increase your algorithms. Algorithms mean the more engagement that you're going to get on your posts. So if you want to increase who sees your posts and increase your amount of followers that start following you, that's increasing your algorithms. So start to use these, okay? And then just to recap, this is probably why I have that on there, is make sure that this is all done, that you've made these icons right here. I created in Canva. They're free. You can create the background, you can add icons to it, you can add fonts to it, and then label your highlight reel, whatever speaks to you that represents like your brand. Then make sure you've uploaded and updated your bio. Linktree I talked about, so I have like 3 different links under Linktree. So one's like my Calendly one is a landing page, one is a CBD line that's a friend of mine's, different things. So Linktree lets you have multiple websites under one. And I think that's it. So I want to just open this up for the rest of it to questions. Like if you're like specific questions about yours, they're like, how do I do this? Or how do I do that? Or if you have a specific niche and you want me to walk you through how to write a piece of content for you for tonight, like a power post, I'm going to open up to you guys. So does anybody want to ask a question or be an example, and we can write something out for you? Mm-hmm. Hi, Cassie. Did what we do with you last week help?
I just want to come on just to say thank you so much for doing all this. Like I got like an extra 4 followers just from doing that little like thing that you sent me to Canva. And like, so now I have 501 followers, which may not be a big deal, but it's a big deal for me.
Yeah, that's growth. That's huge.
Yeah. And just like, thank you so much for your encouragement, because there's so many things. Like I don't know if you can see, but like this was today, like I was taking down like everything. So thank you so much for your help. And even that phone call was just getting my niche. That's my biggest thing. Cause like, I want to serve everyone, but I can't. So just finding like the core people that I could really love on and serve.
Clarity, like how to speak to them. Because I think, for like young people, like the clarity, everyone watching, like we helped her go from like, she just like, you can look at her bio, but the clarity of the young people that she really wants to impact, and like the type of person she wants to attract and things like that. So I think we wrote out all of her power words and all like the things that resonate with her, so then she can weave that into her content now and speak to them.
Yeah, and it's so much clearer for me. And like the next thing I want to do is just organize my Instagram, because I just have so many random things just hoping to get people to like it, but then people just pass it because it's just not exciting.
Yeah.
Right. And so that, yes, there's a lot of things I have to go through still, but it looks so much better. Like I love the little folders on right underneath my name and stuff. So it's so great.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. You're the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anybody else? We got done early this time. That's good. All right, cool. Everybody, if you just message me if you have any questions. If you're watching the recording back, if you have any questions, go on. I'm at Larry and Kelly right here. You can just tag me on Instagram or direct message me, and I'm happy to do one-on-one calls just to help you like walk through yours and finalize everything. And I hope this helps. Have a great night, you guys. Let me stop recording.
Thank you.